Okay, guys, we are live. Welcome to our webinar that honestly, guys, this is a webinar I've wanted to do for so long, and I've held back because I wanted to just get it absolutely right. And this is it tonight. Tonight's the night, man. I'm just gonna go crazy on you guys in terms of just laying out the value and basically just showing you where I've come through in the last few years as a part-time marketer, and I'm going to take you on that journey with me and show you every trick I've got. I'm not going to hold anything back. So my name is Bob Clark. For those of you who don't know me, I'll get to my story in a minute. I have with me today the amazing Nick Howner. Nick, how are you today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, Nick, I brought Nick on for a couple reasons, and one of them is that Nick is not a part-time marketer, but Nick works with a lot of part-time marketers, and he's got a lot of insights into the struggles and what he sees people are getting stopped and stuck with. So Nick's going to be able to offer a ton of insights on this as well. So it's going to be awesome, guys. I'm so excited and I'm really stoked, and I want to be real with you tonight. Okay, I want to be kind of maybe going against the grain sometimes, telling you things that maybe the other people won't tell you, and I just want to be really straight with you. Do I have your permission to be straight with you? So just put in the chat here. I just want to make sure I have your permission to be straight. Let me see now. So he doesn't hear anything. I'm going to assume do you guys hear me and see us? Okay. We have a little bit of a delay, I guess, Nick, right?
Yeah, it'll be a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to go on.
You have my permission.
I have your permission. Okay, so I have Nick's permission, and I'm going to assume I have all your guys' permission to do this. And although I'm primarily an online marketer, the stuff you're going to hear tonight is applicable to anyone in any industry, whether you're a network marketer, your affiliate marketer, content marketer, internet marketer, even brick and mortar businesses. The stuff that I'm going to talk about tonight is applicable to everyone. So, all right, so cool. Everybody's saying that I have permission to do this. So a little bit about me. A lot of you know me, but some of you don't. I am a 25-year veteran healthcare professional. I manage a reproductive lab here, an infertility lab here in New York City. I've done it for 25 plus years, and I love it. I love what I do every day. But you know what? As you can see, I'm getting a little older. I'm not usually this red, but had got some sun this week. But I'm older. My hands aren't as steady as they used to be, and I need my hands when I work. And I started thinking, to myself, what do I want to do when I get out? How do I want to transition out of this thing? And I want to do it in my own terms. And I started a home business to be able to do that, to transition out of my career when I'm ready. So that's how I got started. Gosh, it was about three and a half, 4 years ago now, Nick. It's been a while, and it's been a journey, as anybody can probably tell you. I've had a lot of ups and downs. I've had a ton of struggles. I almost quit 3 times. I've been talked off the ledge a few times, and each time something brought me back, and that something was the freedom and the stuff about coming back on my terms, and getting out of my career on my terms. So that's why I keep coming back. And gradually I started getting results, and they started building and started building. And it was a lot to do with just keeping going, being consistent, finding the right teachers, and just keep going, and getting on the right path. Once I did that, I started seeing results, and now, I can say that I've won recruiting contests where I've been able to go on a cruise last year to the Caribbean. That was cool. I finished in the top 10 of some major affiliate contests. I'm a published author in one of the top publications in our industry. I've hit leadership ranks. I've done a lot, and now I'm a product creator. So I'm awfully excited and proud about that. So I think I'm pretty qualified to talk about this to you today, this whole thing about part-time marketing and all the struggles that go with it, because that's who I am. That's who I've kind of been branded myself the last couple of years. I've become kind of the go-to person for part-time marketers out there, and I work with a lot of part-time marketers who are struggling, so I understand it. I understand when I was struggling, and I understand what holds people back. So I'm really looking forward to this. To put some structure on it, I decided to talk about the 5 reasons that I think that maybe you're not making money in your business part-time right now, or maybe you're not getting the results that you really want. Maybe you're making some money, but you're not making what you want. And I looked back. I did a lot of reflection this past week while I was on vacation, and I tried to think, what are really the key things that held me back? And that's what I really thought would be really valuable to share with you today. So that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to structure this. How's that sound, Nick? That sound good to you?
Sounds great to me. And you know what? You didn't talk too much about it, but over the past 6 months, ever since we started working on some stuff, you've really taken the whole part-time concept and refined it more than I think you even give yourself credit for. Because I've been able to watch you go from having an idea to actually fully implementing the part-time philosophy into your own business and getting some incredible results. I mean, from just doing some Facebook work that we did, I don't even know the numbers, but it's been hundreds upon hundreds, maybe even close to thousands of leads coming in from there. And I know that you've been getting sales. You've been updating me on that too. So the cool thing is, guys, listen up closely, because this isn't just concepts. This isn't stuff that hasn't been tested before. This is stuff that Bob himself has actually implemented into his business and works. So this is really, really powerful stuff. Can't wait to dig in here.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yeah, I've been working with Nick a lot in the last 3, 4, 5 months, and it's been very fruitful for me. I have to say that, because it's I get a little bit impatient sometimes. I want results faster, and Nick's provided me an avenue for doing that, and I'm going to share that with you a bit later as well. So let's get on with it. But okay, so the 5 reasons that maybe you're not as successful as you want to be in your part-time business. Number 1, and maybe this is the biggest one, is you bought into the hype. Okay, I'm going to get a little edgy here, but you bought into the hype. You bought into this whole thing about the fire your boss mentality. Okay, that's been a huge marketing message around this space for quite a while. Fire your boss. They glamorize it. They make that like that should be your end goal. And for many of you, maybe that is your end goal, and that's fine. But it's not true for many of us. And it's just kind of like, it's often portrayed as, if you're not all in, then you're not serious. If you're not full-time in your business, then you're not 100% committed. And I'm sorry, guys, but that is a bunch of garbage. Okay? First of all, I would say, I don't know what the percentage is, but I know the majority of people in this industry, in this online marketing industry, are part-time. So you're certainly not alone there. You got a lot of people going through it. And to me, the full-time marketers are not the heroes. You guys are the heroes, the people who are doing this part-time. Okay, you guys who work a full-time job, maybe you work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and then you come home and grab some dinner and try to get to work on your business while most of your buddies are off from work and guzzling beer and sitting on a couch. Okay, you guys inspire me for that. It's the mom and dads who stay home all day and take care of the kids and make sure they're safe and make sure that they have a good environment to learn and to feel secure. And then once those kids are in bed, then you get on a computer and you try to build your business. Okay, you're the heroes, guys. You're the heroes. And even the son or the daughter who's taking care of their elderly parents, and I'm thinking of one person in particular, it's a dear friend of mine, taking care of your elderly parents who need you now the way that you needed them when you were a child. Okay, so once you finally have done your job for the day, taking care of your parent, then you get to get on your computer while everybody else is just sacked out, maybe asleep even, and you're burning the midnight oil trying to build your business. You are the heroes, guys. You guys inspire me so much, and that's why I've built this brand, because I love working with part-timers, because the serious ones never stop. They just keep going and going and going, and they don't let anything stop them. So cheers to you guys. I'm going to get a sip here, but cheers to you. You are the heroes in my book. Okay, that's rant number 1 done. The second reason, and now I'm going to be a little bit in your face. Okay, so number 1 was you're buying into the hype. Don't buy into that hype. You understand what the truth is now. Number 2 is you think like a part-timer. Okay? You're thinking, I'm only part-time in my business, so I don't rank up there. I'm not worthy of being a full-timer. I'm only part-time. I'm not good enough, right? I'm not enough on some level. That's very, very common with part-timers. Here's a big one, Nick, that I never thought about until I had a conversation with some other people, and that's I can't make mistakes. Okay, when you have a full-time job, I don't know too many jobs where mistakes are encouraged. I know in my job, mistakes are not an option. In most jobs that I've ever had, mistakes were not encouraged and not an option. And I'm sure most of you guys who work a traditional job, mistakes are not an option. You know, when you're taking care of your kids or taking care of your parents or whatever, mistakes can be, you know, crucial in what you're doing. So, you know, you try to avoid mistakes in every aspect of your life. And that's kind of the part-time way of thinking, is that I've got to avoid mistakes. But when you're a marketer, and I'm sure, Nick, you can attest to this, you got to make mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're not getting results, and you're not getting going forward at all in your business. So you have to be the one to get out there and take the action, to make the mistakes, to find out what you're doing wrong, and to fix it up and to start getting results you want to get. So whereas the part-timer thinks I can't make mistakes, and that kind of, you know, it spills over into their marketing mentality. If I don't want to make mistakes, so I'm not going to do anything. Okay, the full-time marketer is out there saying, hey, the more mistakes I make, the faster I'm going to get results, the faster I'm going to find success in my business. So that was a big one for me to get through, is realizing that, hey, I got to make mistakes here. That was a big mind shift for, you know, a different paradigm for me to figure out. And then finally, I've heard a lot of people say, and I'll be truthful, I've said it too, because it's something that just falls off your tongue a lot of times, especially if you don't have the time that you want for your business. You'll say something like, if I were only full-time, things would be different. If I were only full-time, I'd be able to ramp this up. If I were only full-time, I'd be seeing the results I want to see in my business. And my good friend Ray Higdon told me once, I never forgot it, and I think he's absolutely right, that if you're not getting results part-time, going full-time is not going to help. And I just thought that was so wise and so spot on, and I've carried that with me as I've gone forward, because I just think it's so important a concept to grasp. So, you know, if you're not seeing results, chances are that you're still thinking like a part-timer in some way, shape, or form. So I always say, if you have a boss, go hug him, okay? Go give your boss a great big hug. Even if your boss is an idiot, a jerk, whatever, go give that guy a hug, because with that job that you have, for those of you who have a traditional job, with that job you have, you're paying the bills. Okay, you're paying the bills, you're taking care of your family, and that's allowing you to grow your business. So people, this whole fire your boss mentality, I hug my boss, and not all the time because he's kind of a jerk, but a lot of times, you know, I just remind myself, even during the bad days at work, why I'm so thankful to have that, because I can feed my family, I can pay the bills, and I can have some money to market. And without that, you know, I wouldn't be able to move as fast forward as I am. So this whole fire your boss mentality, this whole thinking like a part-timer, you got to try to get through that. Okay, and I'm going to give you some stuff to help you with that later. But you got to get through that, because it's just going to be holding you back. Nick, you have any comments on it?
Yeah, actually I do. When I first got started, I still had a job. I was working full time. Actually, I was working more than a lot of people work. I was doing 10-hour a day, 6 days a week. It was just really insane. And I kind of had a realization, like I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So I do understand the both sides of the coin. The part where you do have that objective to fire your boss. I've never subscribed to that completely, because could you imagine if, you know, millions of entrepreneurs fired their bosses? We'd have an economic collapse. But it'd be nuts. But one of the things that you said here too, which for me was really important to realize, is that when I was part-time and I would go home and I'd do the business, I'd say that same thing that I think we all say, is that, oh gosh, if only I had more time, if only I was full time, I could just really crush this business, I could make this work for me. But then when I actually did go full time, I, for one, another thing you said, lost my income. That was pretty significant. Feeding, I was still living with my parents at that time. It was a while ago, but I lost pretty significant income to pursue the full time. And I think that actually it's better to be part time and to stay in your job maybe a little longer than you want, just so that you can continue to support your business till it is really, really strong. And the other piece of that too was that when you do go full time, it's weird, but you'll realize that you actually don't work your business as much as you probably did part-time because you're not as motivated. So self-motivation comes in there, and I think Bob has some cool things. I've seen the inside of what he's doing right now, and it's really great stuff. So he has some really cool hacks and tricks to get yourself into the right mind frame to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely, sometimes you have to kind of trick your own mind to go forward on this and get through some of these things that, play on your mind when you're doing this. Okay, so number one was you're buying into the hype. Number two is you're thinking like a part-timer. Number 3 and 4 I kind of put together, but I'll do them separately. The third reason why maybe you're not getting results that you want is that you're building the wrong business. And then the fourth one is you don't have a workable plan of attack. Okay? And what I mean is, and I don't know if this has happened to any of you guys, I know it's happened to me, where I finally get a block of time, maybe an hour or two to work on my business, and I sit down on my computer and I just go blank. Like, what should I do? What's gonna give me the best bang for my buck here in terms of my time? Maybe I'll check out Facebook and let's see what's happening there. Oh, there's a good YouTube video. Let me go over here. And before you know it, you've watched an hour of YouTube videos that help you in your business, and you've gone through Facebook and chatted with some folks, which isn't bad, but in the end, you don't have much to show for your time. So I think a lot of people have that, where they don't really have a plan of action. They don't have a daily method of operation. That's one of the things I'm going to share with you guys, is that you've got to have something that you fall back on when you go to work on your computer. When you get that block of time, or even that half hour or an hour, you got to have that fallback plan. Okay, if I can't think of what I want to do, I know I'm always going to do these few things, and that's what's going to really help me grow my business. Anything else I do is gravy, but I've got to get these things done every day, or many days out of the week, in order to have my business grow. In terms of you're building the wrong business, let me tell you. I'll just tell you a story. I've been in a few MLMs now. One of them merged, kind of closed. The deal that I was working kind of closed up. One of them decided that they didn't want me to market online. One of them decided that they were going to change their comp plan. And that was back when I thought that my business was MLM. I thought that I was working in MLM business, and I've worked affiliate businesses where I've promoted products and different things, and they can also change up on you as well. They can change up on their payout, what they're going to give you. They can stop allowing you to promote certain products. That's happened. You don't want to let someone else dictate your future, and when you think in terms of your MLM being your business, or your affiliate marketing company being your business, or your blog being your business, all right, you don't want someone else to dictate your future. Your business is you, and this is what I've worked a lot with Nick on. Your business is you, and it's all about who follows you. Okay, it's about who joins your lists and who you help with your content, and most importantly, it's about who trusts you. And I know you guys know this inherently, but maybe you need to hear it again. Okay? Your business is not your MLM business. Your business is not your affiliate company. Your business is not your blog. Your business is not your video channel, your YouTube channel, who can shut it down anytime they want. Your business is you. And your whole job is to promote you. and to make yourself more valuable, to make yourself the person who someone trusts and follows and will, will go to bat for you when you're promoting something or anything like that. And the sooner you understand that, then the more protection you're going to get. Because, like I said, like in my cases, MLM companies can close, they can change, they can do lots of things. They can do whatever they want. It's their company. Same with all these other ones. If it's not your company, you have no control. So someone else can dictate your future. It's really, to me, no different than having a traditional job where you can come in one day, they can give you your pink slip, and you're gone. Right? To me, it's the same exact thing. So the sooner you get into, understanding that your business is you and going about figuring out how to promote yourself and get people to trust you, then you'll start seeing results much, much faster. And in terms of that, the daily method of operation I'll be going to in a little bit, but let me go into another little mini rant. And Nick, I don't know if you're going to agree with this one because this one maybe is a little controversial, but I hear all the time, massive action yields massive results. And I don't think that's true. Not all the time. Maybe it's only half true. Because I think when you take focused action that will yield, that makes sense for your business, you can get massive results. And you don't even have to take massive action. You just take consistent action, and you can get massive results. But unfocused action, no matter how much you do, will not get you the results you're looking for. And I know people who have done 50, 100 videos without they want to save money on buying the course from the teacher who's going to show them how to do it. So they save the money on that, but then they work their butt off for months making 50, 100 videos trying to figure it out, and then they come and they say, nobody is watching my videos. My videos aren't ranked. What's going on? So while I think massive action can yield massive results, I think first you have to make sure that you have the right action that you're taking. Okay? Nick, what are your thoughts on that? I'm just curious because that's something that I hear a lot about.
Well, my take on this now, because from one of the books that I recommended you, it's all about that essentialist approach. If you're taking, I've seen this, and I've done this so many times over the past 4+ years that I've been in this industry, is I've bought into the idea of massive action. I've taken massive action. And in taking massive action, what we're really talking about is that broad scattershot kind of method where you do YouTube videos and Facebook ads and fan page, and you're doing emails and all this stuff, right? Because you were told to take massive action. Problem with that is, one, you're going to burn out. No one can sustain that at all. And two, you're not going to be able to produce the highest quality content and value that you can because you're doing so many different things. So you're not putting all of your heart and all of your energy into any one thing. So they're all going to be mediocre at best. So specific, like you're saying, Bob, specific focused action is really what you should be aiming for.
Right. Agreed. And for you guys who are interested in a book, if you want a resource, Nick turned me on to this book. I'm going to show it to you. It's called Essentialism by Greg McKeown. I highly recommend you grab this book if you're a part-timer because, well, it's for anybody, but especially if you're a part-timer because I'm only halfway through it, so I can't speak for the whole thing, but what I've read so far, it makes you understand the very few things that are actually necessary to get what you want out of life, out of your business and out of your life. And I know just reading the first half of it, I told Nick today, I've gone back and read stuff again because I don't want to just rush through the book and try to get through it. I want to get the most out of it. So the book is called Essentialism by Greg McKeown, M-C-K-E-O-W-N. So I definitely recommend you grab that if you're looking for something to read that will be like high impact on your life. So thanks for that recommendation, Nick. You know what, Nick? I'm like, I want to show these guys what I've been up to because I'm itching to, I've had this here. I've been refining it. I've been tweaking it, and I want to show them because I'm excited to show them what I've been up to and what I have for them. So what do you think? Should we show them that?
I'm excited for this big reveal, and just to preface that, Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that we've been working on over the last 2 months. Mr. Bob Clark here has invested a considerable amount of time, effort, and money into this project, and has even brought me on board to help him out with this. So I don't want to talk about too much about myself in this, but I've been involved in numerous multi-million-dollar launches. I've been involved in dozens of product creations. And so bringing that knowledge into this product and Bob's knowledge of the part-time business blueprint, you're getting the best product and course on being a part-time business owner that you can possibly get anywhere else. Actually, there is nowhere else to get something like this. So with that said, let's do this, Bob.
Awesome, yeah. It's been a real fun time doing it too, I have to say, because it's been like, it started out as a small project, Nick, and it just grew and grew, and now it's like my baby. It's like this is my baby, and I want to take it to birth here. So that's what I'm going to do. To use a reproductive analogy, I'll say that. So I'm going to share my screen right now for you guys. Let me see here. Can you see that, Nick?
Yep.
All right. Now, is it better for you if I go full screen, or is that okay?
Yeah, let's go full screen. That'd be good.
All right. So I'm going to go play it, and you tell me how that looks. That's good?
I don't see it yet, but it'll pop up. We're good. Good to go.
Okay. All right, guys. Introducing the part-time business blueprint. Okay, this is like Nick said, this is something that I've been working on for a long time. I brought Nick in to help me with it because I wanted it to be the best it could possibly be, and it is truly my baby right now. So I'm so excited to show you what I've got. This blueprint, it's a 7-module blueprint. It's a guide. It's a companion. It's in video format. It's in audio format. It's in PDF format. Like I said in the beginning, this is good for any kind of marketer that you are, network, affiliate, content, internet. And I tried really hard, and I think I've succeeded almost the whole time, Nick, in making this bite-sized chunks of information so that people who don't have a lot of time can take whatever size chunks they can and absorb it and learn from it. So I don't think any video that I've done is more than 15 minutes, maybe 30 tops for one of the longer trainings, but mostly less than 15 minutes. So I'm really excited about that too. This is the welcome page when you log into it. What I love about this, Nick is the brainchild behind the format. He set this all up.
We're not seeing the second slide right now. Might want to pop out of presentation mode actually. Okay. Yeah, let's just do that. We're not going to see.
Can you see that?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, I'll stay that way then.
Okay.
Okay, this is the welcome slide. This is the home page of the Part-Time Business Blueprint. And like I was saying, Nick is the brainchild behind the layout of this. Nick designed the whole thing. He did stuff that I know I'll have to go back to him for years trying to figure out what he did because I have no clue. I'm not a technology person, so I'm so glad that Nick was part of this because it's got a sleek look. It's very clean. It's easy to navigate. And as you can see, the modules, you can't see all of them in this. I just took a snapshot of it. So you can only see the first 4 modules. But they're easy to navigate. There's a welcome video on the side, on the right side. There's a place to join the private Facebook community. And there's a welcome message. And this is I just love the sleek design of it, Nick. It's awesome. So. Okay, so let me just run through really quick the different modules that are in here, and you're going to see they follow kind of closely the reasons that I thought that you guys maybe weren't succeeding. And there's a reason for that. It's how I outlined the course. Module 1 is all about expanding your mindset. Okay, I took some of the stuff that I just talked about and expounded on it. I went deeper, talked about some more different things that are holding you back. Including fears. Fears is a big one, so I went deep into that, into what fears may be holding you back, and especially self-limiting beliefs and how you might want to try to counteract those, because we all have them. the I'm not good enough, I'm only part-time, things of that nature. But not only just identifying them, but how do you counteract those so that you can get around that and you can really start growing your business and getting the results that you want. And finally, something that I was really happy with, Diane, I did an interview a while back. This is like a bootleg interview, Nick, of Diane Hockman and I just kind of talking off the cuff one Sunday night, I believe. And we just rolled around this whole thing about attraction marketing, what it was, what it wasn't, how people are doing it right and how people are doing it maybe not so right, and how it all molds into the mindset of the person and how it all affects everything. So this is a 30-minute interview with Diane Hockman. Probably most of you on here know her. She is the queen of attraction marketing, and it's just an awesome, awesome session. She gave me permission to put it in here, and I'm just so excited that I was able to pass it on to you guys. So this is a terrific module. That the prices you see on the top, it's very hard for me, guys, to put a value on these modules because they've taken so much time and energy and even money of my own to get this information that I don't really know how to value the price. So this is a guesstimate. This is my best guess on what value this has in the marketplace. The second module is all about your time, and this is a huge one for most of you. Okay, and I dive really deep in this whole time versus money paradigm. And most people want to save money, but when you come to the reality that your most precious resource is not money for 99.9% of you, your most precious resource is time. You can make more money, you can never make more time. And there's this whole fallacy of the freedom seekers, people seeking free everything. And I make a big case in there for you to understand that most of the time free can cost you far more than if you just go ahead and pay for something up front. The search for free sometimes can really take you on a really roundabout way to get into where you want to go if you ever get there at all. Guys, I have, through my studies of different people on time management and time mastery, I developed what I call it the ALP productivity boost. And I give this to you in one of the videos here. And it's huge because it allows you to take the time that you have and figure out where you're maybe losing some time, how you can add more times to your day, and it helps you identify ways to get more business time out of the time you have in your day. And I call it the ALP productivity boost. It's been a huge help for me, and I'm passing that on to you now to use. And then finally, I talk about 13 time hacks. I'm not sure, I don't know if hacks is the right word, but basically, these are just 13 ways that I've come up with, kind of strategies to be more productive, to master your time, to get more, actually to make more time in your day to use for your business. Some of them maybe will be review for you. Many of them will be new. Some of them I've never talked about before, so I'm really excited about that part. But this time module is probably one of the most important for you guys who are struggling with time in your business. Now, I talked about not being able to have a focused plan of attack when you sit down at your computer. And the next few modules are geared of what I've come up with, and many of you this will be familiar with you, but this is kind of tweaked for the part-timer, and it's my take on it. It's what I do every day in my business, minimally, to keep things going in the right direction. I shouldn't say every day, probably 5 times a week. So Module 3 is all about expanding your audience. Okay, expanding your audience. And specifically, I talk about how to use social media to do that because it's probably one of the highest leveraging forms that you can use on the internet today. Social media is huge. If you can figure out where your audience is on the internet and go stand in front of them, you can expand your audience very quickly. And I talk about how to do that. I talk about conversations that you'll have with people, how to make it natural. Okay, how it's not, my goal is not for you guys to go find people and spam them and throw your links at them and plead with them to join your business, because that's not what we're about here. We're about having natural conversations where, you figure out who these people are. Can you help them with what you have? And in many cases, can they help you? And that's a piece that many people miss, Nick, is sometimes you run into people who know more than you, and people are so intent on selling them, getting them, whatever it is, that they miss out the whole opportunity to learn from that person. So you got to let the ego go in these instances, and that's what I talk about a lot of this in this module, is that you let the ego go, and you also learn from people who you meet on the internet as well. And then the age-old question everybody wants to know, you're talking to people on the internet, when can you bring up your business? And the answer is going to really surprise you. I'm just going to leave it at that. Most people got it totally wrong, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So module 4, the second thing I do every day, I expand my list. These people who I'm talking to, this audience that I have, okay, through different ways, I am exposing them to get on my list. And my list is no more than a list of contacts that you can talk to over and over again using a highly leveraged form of communication called the autoresponder. Most of you probably know what that is. But this is all about having people on your list. Again, guys, this is your business. This is your list. Nobody can take it away from you, right? Nothing can happen to this list. It's yours. And the key to your business is going to be how you grow this list, how you talk to this list, and getting these people to trust you. So this is a whole segment. This whole module is dedicated toward having people join your list, how to find your lead magnet, which is Nick is really quite an expert on as well. And that lead magnet is nothing more than giving them something of value in return for their email address and their name. And I've come up with many different ideas of how you can come up with that for you in your business. And then some common list building questions that I get often that I want to answer. How often do I email? What do I say in my emails? How do I get people? What if they unsubscribe? What should I do? And a bunch more. These are all common questions that I've answered in this module. Module 5 is all about expanding your presence. Okay, it's about creating content. It's about doing it fast, on the fly. Okay, and I really go through in the beginning just a primer. A lot of people have this misconception of what content is, and I let you know exactly what it is. And it can be short, it can be long, it can be in-depth teaching, it can be something very fast, it can be inspirational, it can be educational. Many different things qualify as content, and I show you some ways to do it fast so that you're not spending 2 hours a day just on creating your content. And I've come up with 11 what I think are pretty cool ideas for not only creating compelling content, but for getting ideas brought to you, right to your inbox every day, so that you don't have to go out searching, okay, what should I talk about today? I get in my email inbox a couple different emails every single day of ideas for creating content that kind of float in my brain, and I pick out one and I talk about it. And finally, your content's no good, guys, unless people are seeing it, okay? And I'm going to share with you, and I've developed this over the last few years, my content syndication plan for maximum exposure of my content, okay? This is something that I developed for maximum exposure of my content, and I want to share it for you guys. Okay, moving along, Module 6 then is expanding your wealth. This is probably the key to the whole thing. Okay, because you work on expanding your audience, you work on getting people on your list and creating content, create value for them, and this is the part where you get to talk to those people in an email and get them to trust you. Okay, so I've put a lot of work into this module because I think it's one of the keys, because there's people out there with really big lists who are poor. They're not making money because they don't know how to build relationships with the list. They're just pitching after pitching after pitching. They don't email them unless they have a pitch. So I show you exactly how I do it, how often I write, how I get people to open my emails, and some really great headline examples that I've went back through my history of my Aweber account and picked out some of the best headlines that got the best open rates, and I shared those with you. And I think that'll be exciting for you guys to get that. I tell you exactly how I structure my emails, how I write my emails, that pull profits. Okay, there's a little bit that goes in. There's a few tricks that go into this, both structurally and what you say and kind of how you say it. And I put that all together in a couple modules. And finally, I say how to develop a green relationship. Green means money, and trust means money. So if you expect someone to buy from you based on your recommendation, they have to 100% trust you that you have their best interest at heart. And that's what this whole module is about, building trust. Okay, it's building trust. It's huge. I think it's one of the most valuable modules in the course, actually. And then finally, I didn't want to just leave it at that. I wanted to put it all together for you guys. So module 7 is, we call it expanding your growth. It's really developing your own personal part-time blueprint for yourself and your circumstances. Okay, everybody's is going to be a little bit different, but I want to show you guys, I've kind of give you some templates on how you can develop your own personal blueprint and then answer some questions that everybody always asks. Okay, how do I know it's working? I have this blueprint, how do I know it's working? You know, when can I expect results? How long does it take? I answer all those questions as well in this module, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so just to summarize then, what's the cost of this thing going to be? You know, I priced it out based on what I thought these modules were worth. It's probably low. I mean, they're probably worth a lot more than this. I tend to just hit the low side usually. But my guess is, as a conservative estimate, over $1,000, $1,051 is really the total value of what I'm giving you in this course. And I think that's, like I said, a conservative estimate. But I didn't stop there because I wanted to give you guys even more value and make sure that I hit the most important points and kind of, you know, I don't like to do anything that's not complete. So I wanted to make sure you guys had everything you needed in this one course to be able to take this out to the marketplace and to do your thing and to get some results for it. So I put in 3 bonuses here, and they were very strategically put in here just for you. Bonus number 1, I corralled my good friend Larry Hockman, Diane Hockman's husband. He's a 25-year certified counselor, and the guy knows his stuff, Nick. I mean, this guy has helped me through more places where I've been stuck. He's you know, basically he's talked me off the roof a few times of when I was starting out and really struggling. And I asked Larry to come on and for 30 minutes, just one-on-one with me, and really go deep into these fears that people have and how to get through them. Because I really think in my heart that if you can get through the mindset part of this whole thing, then you'll be well on your way. If you can master your mindset and your time, then I think you're well on your way. Because anything else, you know, I'm not special, Nick. Maybe you're special, but I'm not. If I can do this, other people can do this. It's not rocket science. It's just a matter of getting through your head that you can do it. Okay, and you're not less because you're a part-timer. So the bonus number 1 is all about going much, much deeper into these fears. Larry has a very cool course called How to Receive, so he knows his stuff. This is a well-received course. So we had a great conversation. I think it's really going to help you. Bonus number 2, to me, the fastest shortcut, if you want to talk shortcuts, the fastest shortcut to success that I personally found in my business was to find a teacher who's already done what I want to do and who's been there and who knows the way, who can take me by the hand and say, this is what you need to do to get this result. And I got the coach's coach, Vanessa Duplessis. She was actually my very first coach, Nick. And I love her to death. She's a great person. And she runs a lot of the coaching programs for many of the top marketers out there. And she sat down with me for, again, 30 minutes, one-on-one, and talked about how do you find the right coach for you, right? What questions do you ask? What do you look for? And when you hire that person, how do you get the most out of that experience? And I just thought this was a very, very cool module. If you're looking for shortcuts, this is the best one I know of. And finally, maybe my favorite module, because it has to do with Mr. Habner over here. Nick did a nice, really great bonus for us. If you're looking to ramp things up faster and you have a little bit of a budget, Nick put together a great bonus on how he does his Facebook advertising, how he worked with me, and I think Nick used my whole approach here as an example, the part-time business blueprint of how we did it, And I don't know if you know this, Nick, but my list during the time that we first did this, my list tripled in size just on the things that we were doing through the Facebook advertising. So it was an awesome experience. Yeah, it was really awesome. And so this was the third bonus. So I strategically put these in here because I think this will complete the circle. This will give you everything you need to succeed when you go back out there. So if you throw those 3 bonus trainings in, the total value now is over $1,300, $1,348. Now, one of my goals for this was not just to give you everything and not just to make it as complete as I could, but I understand, that many people can't afford a lot, so I want to make this as economical as possible for you guys without being ridiculous. And I think maybe I went into the ridiculous side of it, Nick. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to sell this for regularly. Probably between $200 and $300 is my guess that I'm going to sell this for regularly. But for today, because I want to, the people around here, I know these are the go-getters. These are the people who really are interested in breaking through their business no matter what. I'm going to make it available today for $97. And I don't know how much better I can do for that. I will offer, as I always do with everything I do, a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied in any way, shape, or form, you will get your money back. So there's no risk to this. $97, I think, is a very, very, very generous offer. It's over a 90% discount. So
a ridiculously generous offer.
Nick is probably mad at me right now, but
a little bit.
That's what I'm doing for tonight, and I'm not doing this forever. This is going to be for tonight and maybe tomorrow, and then it's done because then it goes back up so Nick doesn't hate me anymore. Okay, one last thing before I go. But wait, there's more. I have to have a slide like that, right? Of course. For the first 10 customers, the first 10 people who know what they want to do this, I am offering. It's going to be an upsell ultimately for the Part-Time Business Blueprint. It's going to be my Mastermind Sessions where I take a small group of people through 6 one-hour sessions where they will get my personal attention in a group setting. We'll go deep into their business. And I'll answer all their questions, and I'll help them develop their personal blueprint. I value this at $300 at a minimum, maybe even more, but this will be available for free for the first 10 people, and I think I will limit it at 10, Nick, because I really want a nice tight group in there to work with the first time. So that is what I have. I'm just so excited to do this because I think, number one, it's what people need. It's complete. Number two and number three, it's very, very affordable, and there's some cool bonuses in here as well. So that, my friend, is what we've been up to.
So where do they go?
Liking it?
Where do they go?
Oh, I don't know.
How do I get this thing?
You have to beg me. No, just kidding. Let me go out of screen share for a minute and stop screen sharing here.
Yeah, I'm going to post the link.
To get this, guys, Nick, maybe you can throw the link in the chat. Guys, you're going to go to parttimebusinessblueprint.com, and you're going to come to an order page. It's very simple. Just click the Order Now button, the Buy Now button, and that'll take you over to PayPal where you can complete your payment, and then automatically you'll be directed, once you complete the payment, you'll be directed right to the registration page of the product, and you'll be able to get in there and watching the videos and getting the training within, gosh, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute after you paid. So, and watch your emails because you're going to be getting some emails from me as well about registering for with your registration information, as well as confirming your subscription to get on my customer list so that I can communicate with you on a much easier basis. So that is how they buy, and that is how they get on here. And I will have a replay as long as the technology cooperates. But again, I am not going to keep this price at $97 for very long. I think max I'll do it through tomorrow, no longer than that, because it's kind of crazy. I don't know. It's just my birthday. I just was on vacation. I'm feeling really generous. I'm feeling really happy right now. So, and I really want people to get this because I think they need it. And like you said, Nick, I don't know. There are a few courses out there I know for part-time marketers, specifically for MLM and recruiting, but I don't know any course out there for people who are doing business part-time to talk about things in just this way with the mindset and the time mastery and building your own business and how to do that in 1 to 2 hours a day. And guys, what I showed you how to do in those like modules 3 to 6 should take you no more than 1 to 2 hours a day, really. And it's very, very doable to do that. If you can't do it in a day, I tell people, work at it per week. Put 10 hours a week whenever you can. If you have a day off, you can batch 4 hours, do 4 hours worth of work one day, and if you can't work another day, then you can't. I mean, life gets in the way, right? It's just the way it is. So it's very flexible, it's very easy, but you can do this in 1 to 2 hours a day. It's highly, highly doable. Okay, I thought I stopped my screen share, did I? Can you still see my screen share?
I still see it.
All right, so let me see how I do that. Am I out now?
There we go.
There we go. Now you can see me. Yay! All right. How awesome was that? You guys loving that? Because that was like so much fun for me to go through it. Every time I go through that, I'm like, wow, that is cool. If I don't say so myself, that's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. Excuse me. I was distracted. I'm answering questions here in the chat box.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, you guys have the link. You can go do that. But let me finish this out, Nick, because I talked about 4 things now that I think are stopping people. And there's a 5th one. And the 5th one, I think, is that people aren't using technology to their full advantage. They're not leveraging everything that's at their disposal, all the resources they have to their full advantage. Okay, and one of those is technology. I talk about several things in this course that are technology driven that you can use to automate some things. Now, I'm not a big believer in automating things like your voice. I don't think you can ever automate your voice in terms of technology, but there are things like sharing content, communicating with people, and things like that you've got to be leveraging the internet if you want to be able to max this stuff out with a limited time that you have. You have to do it. And the other big thing is, I would say, is the biggest mistake I see people make is that they're not leveraging the knowledge of others well enough. Okay, they're bouncing around from training to training to training, and I know because I used to do this, man. I used to be an information junkie. I would get home from my job, have dinner, and jump on a webinar, 5 days a week. And I knew a lot of stuff, but I didn't make any money. And I think people need to be leveraging the knowledge of others, but in the right way. Okay? So, you focus in on what you want to learn. If you want to learn about Facebook marketing, you go focus in on Nick Hapner's stuff. If you want to learn about, coaching, then you talk to Vanessa Duplessis. If you want to learn about videos, then maybe you see some other people about video marketing. But stick to one thing, and don't be like I was. Don't be the information junkie. Know how to leverage in the right way. And once you find a person, and this is a whole nother conversation in itself, but once you find that person who you resonate with, who has the answer of what you want, you have 2 choices then. Okay, you can either hire them and as a coach, which is probably the most direct way to get what you want. Or if you just don't have the money for that or whatever reason you don't want to do that, then you've got to get their attention. And I talk about that a lot in some other trainings that I have that I'll probably be adding. That's the other thing about this blueprint, Nick, is that this thing, as much as I want to believe it's done, it's a work in progress because I'm still going to be adding stuff to it. And any update I make, people get all the updates on it. So it's going to be changing a little bit. I'll be adding some more stuff to it as time goes along, most likely. And when you buy in that, you get all the updates as well. So that's pretty cool. But what I was saying was, if you don't want to hire someone as a coach, once you've zeroed in on somebody, you got to get on their radar. And there's a whole way to do that I've talked about, and I'll probably throw that in there as well. You have ways to do it. You either got to buy one of their products and perform, and get some results so they notice you. Because what's the best way to get noticed by somebody, Nick? You make money for them, right? I mean that's absolutely. A huge way. You want to get somebody's attention, you make money for them. Either their product or if you're on their MLM team or something, you produce that way. Otherwise, you just have to get in there and become so noticeable over time that you grab their ear and they start noticing you in different ways. So I think that's also true as well. What are your thoughts about that, Nick? I'm just curious.
So I'll give you my thoughts real quick. I'm working on a fix right now just to make sure everyone is getting the registration links. It appears there's a little bit of a thing with PayPal right now, but we'll make sure you get those registration links, everyone. So no worries on that. It'll be set in a second here. Can you ask the question again? I was definitely in PayPal.
Sorry. Yeah. No, I mean, it's this whole issue about finding the teachers and getting their attention. I mean, outside of coaching someone, right? You pay somebody to be your coach. What do you've been in this industry a lot. What do you is the best way for people maybe who don't have the money to hire a coach, but want to get kind of in the inner circle of some of these people? How do you do that?
Yeah. So from my point of view, what gets my attention then? That's the easiest way for me to go. What gets my attention are people who, for one, let's just go there, are just cool people. If if you just have a cool personality, and everyone has a cool personality. What I mean is you're not like scammy and weird and always trying to pitch or get me involved in something, right? Or anyone, because there's always those people who everyone on here has probably encountered at least once in their lifetime, who's just weird because they always seem like they're trying to get you into their thing. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, people who are go-getters, people who we kind of said, who make you money, right? Yeah, that's a really good way to get attention. But even just making themselves money, who are out there all the time, engaged with their own group of people who what they're doing, making waves, doing cool things, those people get my attention. And in some cases, I'll reach out to them because I see what they're doing. You can't miss them. So being out there and just being fully engaged and in love with your business is going to attract the attention of people who are at the same level as you and who are even above you, making even more money. But notice, gosh, this person, they're going to be up here soon. They're going to be at this level, the income level, success level. So they want to be friends with you. They want to be partners and collaborators with you. And that's probably the simplest, addition to that conversation I can add.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll let you go back to answering all those questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix this.
Do that. And I'll tell you guys, I don't know if she's on here, but Lisa Thompson to me is one of the best examples of what I see on this. The leaders love action takers. I love to see action takers. Lisa Thompson is one of these people who gets on a training, whether it's free or paid, whatever, and she implements what she learns, and she gets some results, and she tells people about it. And there's nothing better to get the attention of one of the leaders than doing that, because like Nick said, he likes people who takes action. So do I. The last thing you want is to teach somebody and they just put it in their notebook and they close it and then they're done with it and then they go on to the next webinar looking for more information. If you're an action taker, people will notice you. If you're out there, you're getting results and you're reporting back on them, even if it's just, hey, I used this tip that so-and-so gave me, and I got 2 leads within 15 minutes. How cool is that? 2 leads is not a big deal, right? But for many people, they've never generated a single lead. They've not generated a single dollar. They've not earned a single dollar online. So very small results can be very big in terms of just reporting them and getting on the radar of some of these top earners out there. And I'll say one more thing about the coaching aspect of it, and that's what if you decide to go that route and you want to hire a coach, stop thinking that you have to hire the top earners or the top people on the ladder here to get your money's worth. The best coaches I've ever had, guys, have been people who are maybe 1 or 2 steps above me in the success ladder. They're still accessible. They're not incredibly expensive, but they've done what I want to do, and they can get me where I want to go. So don't think you have to pay big bucks all the time. There's a time and a place for it. When you're ready for it, you pay the big bucks to a top earner, and you'll get some massive coaching and some great results. But until that happens for you, if you're just kind of at the bottom, don't go after that. Go a couple rungs below Get somebody who's just above you and who's willing to, to show you for a reasonable amount of money, to show you how to do stuff and where you want to go. Again, don't be chasing free all the time. I know some of you have to. I get that. I understand. But if you're not in that situation and you can afford to put some money into your business, that is one of the best places to put it. Okay, because it's a shortcut. They say there are no shortcuts to success. I don't believe that. I believe there are, and hiring a coach or a teacher is one of the fastest ways to do that. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. And I think, it just makes common sense. It's all forms of life. It's the same way, and marketing is no different. And the other thing I want to tell you guys, and I said it a little bit before, is that when I started here, I knew nothing. Okay, I could basically write an email, and that's all I could do. I've never sold anything in terms of a product. I never recruited anybody. I never did anything in terms of marketing. I didn't even understand marketing. I was being marketed to all the time in my life, and I had no idea that I was being influenced in ways that I was. And through the last few years, and it's been a process, I've been able to gain the understanding that I've needed to not only succeed a little bit, but to put together this course for you. And the point I'm making is that I'm not special. I mean, in my profession, I'm special. Right? I have specialized knowledge that not many people have. Okay, so in my profession as a reproductive scientist, I do have specialized knowledge. I'm special, okay, if you want to say it that way. But in marketing, I started as nothing. I had no knowledge at all. So if I can do that, so can you. There's really nothing that's holding you back except, taking some of these concepts that I've talked about tonight and working through them and being consistent with your action and just believing in yourself, that you can do this. Maybe you're not where you want to be now, but I promise you that if you find the right teachers, if you keep your nose to the grindstone, if you keep working and keep going on this, that you're going to find the results that you want to find. It will happen. But it's the people who doubt themselves and doubt everything around them, and then, of course, you get the finger pointing, and this doesn't work, that doesn't work. That's where you start getting into trouble. And if you surround yourself with a group of great people who have your back and who can encourage you when you're feeling kind of low and maybe feeling like things aren't working, you'll be fine. And you guys have that. I know many of you have that. I know many of you who are on this webinar, you have that support. You have me. You have a lot of people in the industry who are willing to take time and help you through things and use that. Diane Hockman said this the other night. She said, you cannot win in this business alone, and it's very true. You need the support of others. You need to be able to work with others, to learn from others, and sometimes to pay others for their knowledge, if that's what it comes down to. So, my take-home message is that don't stop, guys. Just don't stop what you're doing. You're on the right path. You're obviously hungry because you're here, so you're not giving up. And it's your time. It's your time to take this, and wherever stage you're at, to take it one step above, maybe the next few months, and then one step above that, and one step above that, until you keep moving on up the ladder. And in whatever you're doing, you'll start seeing results, whether it's your MLM or your affiliates programs or whatever. You'll start seeing results, and you'll start getting noticed, and you'll start to build that confidence. And it's all about that inner confidence. Once you start building that, you become a different person, a different marketer, and you become much more attractive on a different plane. And that's what it's all about. You just have to keep working till you get to that point. So that's really that's my heartfelt message for you guys, because I know many of you on here. I don't know some of you, but I know many of you. And honestly, I said it before, and I'll say it again. You guys inspire me each and every day because of what you do, the lives you have, and what you're willing to do to get what you want. It just inspires me. So, how we doing, Nick?
Well, we're doing good. You wouldn't believe what I'm doing right now.
What are you doing?
So our integration was it got reset. So I'm manually, because I care so much about you guys, I am right now manually inputting all your information, which actually isn't as hard as it sounds, but I'll be sending a personal email out very shortly with your login. I'll see.
And my bill too, right?
Yes, exactly.
Well, you know, technology and I are not friends, and I rarely get through one of these things without having something happen. And I asked Nick to come on. Of course, I love his expertise. I love what he brings to the table. But also, it was for this reason too, because I know the chances are pretty good that when I'm doing something, that technology is going to go kaflooey on me. And right now, I'd have a lot of angry people saying, "I can't buy what you're selling." You know, what's going on? And so, Nick, I so appreciate you, man. You don't know how much I appreciate you.
Yeah, this stuff happens. This happens no matter, what kind of business you're in. This happens on million-dollar launches. It happens on first webinar launches. So, yeah, it's always good to have a firefighter around, put out those fires.
Awesome. Yeah. So, guys, that's the other thing. You don't have to be good at technology and this stuff. You just have to know somebody who's really good at technology who'll help you, and that's the key to it. It's about finding the right people. And let me just tell you about Nick while he's working so hard for you guys. Nick, I don't even know how you got on my radar. I'm not sure, but I started noticing you pretty quickly on the internet, and you obviously knew what you were doing. And I started seeing some of your Facebook stuff, and I knew, like, I was just, I was growing my business steadily, doing what I'm doing, but I wanted to do more. I wanted to go faster, and I had a little bit of a marketing budget to work with. So I found Nick, and I said, Nick, you have knowledge that I want. And it wasn't just, hey, Nick, go do my ads, because that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted Nick to guide me through the process, to show me how to do it so that I could do it myself. And he was excellent at it because he basically took me step by step through it. And now I have this whole other set of specialized knowledge I never had. I have an incredible product that I wouldn't have had, the layout and everything that wouldn't have looked so nice without Nick. And I have all this specialized knowledge now that I can turn around and teach other people. So it's just another example of leveraging yourself, leveraging other people's knowledge, and that's to me it's the fastest way to get what you need. And it's no different than other parts of your life where you outsource stuff all the time. If you don't have time to do it, you may know how to do stuff. There's two different ways to do it. If you know how to do something but you don't have the time, you can outsource something pretty fast. You can find somebody to do almost anything that you want over on Fiverr or Odesk or some other outsourcing place. And that's a whole other topic is outsourcing. But so that's one easy way to go. You just pay for a service that you want done. But if you want to then to take what the knowledge someone has and have them transfer that into your brain, that's a different level. Okay, and you're going to pay more for that. But to me, it's much worth it. It's much more worth it because not only then do you have some results, like I tripled my list using the strategies that Nick showed me on Facebook marketing, but then I was able to take that and take it to the next level because then now I know it. I know how to do most of it, and I think I can turn to Nick once in a while if I need a little bit of help, but I now have that knowledge, and it just opens up a whole other set of ways to market my stuff for me that I never had before. So I know I'm harping on this a lot, and I'm doing it on purpose because people always ask me, how do I shortcut this process? It's taking too long. It's just taking too long. And my wife is on me about getting results, and my husband says that this thing isn't working, and I'm telling you, the fastest way to get shortcuts in this to get results is to find a coach that can help you out through the process. So,
and you made a really good point too. You want to find somebody, and I learned this early on. I made mistakes when I was first starting coaching people, and I learned also though from getting coaches. And one of the things that I learned was that you want somebody who isn't just going to do it all. That's what Bob was saying. Is he didn't want to just hire me on as a coach and then I just take over and start doing all the Facebook ads. A true coach is going to do a lot less of that kind of stuff, and is going to push you to challenge yourself and is going to challenge you in many ways, so that instead of just doing it all and getting results that you don't know how come you got them, you're going to sometimes be frustrated, be a little bit overwhelmed, maybe be confused and not feel so good about something. But the difference between being all of those things on your own and having a coach is the coach is there to say, hey, calm down, check this out, this is how you do it. And that's how you truly learn. You don't learn if you're always comfortable. You have to get a little bit uncomfortable and be challenged. So and I'm sure Vanessa's going to talk about some cool things in there too, but when you do go to find a coach, if that's what you're looking for, make sure it's somebody who does that for you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, otherwise it's just a consultant.
Exactly, it's just a consultant. So right now, I just want to quickly update everyone who bought. Congratulations, first of all. So glad to see all of you friendly faces in here. Got some top teners in here. That's pretty exciting. And right now, you should be seeing in your email, everyone the registration process is all set up. So now you should be able to get your links, and everything should be all set right now.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So we're good, man? We're good?
Yeah, so all you'll do is you'll see I sent you an email. I sent you a default password, so I sent you the password reset email so that you can go in there and set your own password. And anyone who has any troubles, make sure you hit us up here right now in the comments, or after we're off, if you still have trouble, make sure you email Bob.
Yeah, you guys can get a hold of me. Probably the best way is email is bob@bobandrosemary.com. That's my most predictable email. I'm going to put it in here to make sure that you guys have that. If you have any care of it, Nick will take care of it.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Alright.
All right, man. So, can we?
All right. You know what I want to do? I want to read off the top 10 here, so you guys know.
All right. Awesome.
So here we go. Let's see here. We got Christina. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Christina Urban. Actually, we got all unique names, so I think we'll be good. Larry. Congratulations. Lorraine. We got Bonnie. Susan. Rick. Bill. Bernard. Ron, and Doug.
Awesome.
Congratulations, guys, for making it into the top 10. That mastermind is going to be really great.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to working with every one of you guys, and it's going to be fun because you know what? We're going to get some great experiences from that. We're going to record all the sessions, and we're going to make you all famous. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Absolutely.
So you know, while Nick's waiting on a little bit more of it, let me just tell you one more thing that I've learned, and this is specifically for people who have a traditional job, and this was a big one for me, and it makes sense, but maybe you need to hear it again. Okay, that if you have a job, your boss is telling you what to do. Your boss is telling you when to do it, when to come to work, when to start working, when to finish working, when to take your lunch. When you can take your breaks if you get any breaks, when you can take your vacation. You know, your boss basically runs that part of your life for you. Okay? When you go into business mode, when you get home, a lot of times, at least for me, I was still in that mode. I was still waiting for someone else to tell me what to do and when to do it. And sometimes I would even ask people online, you know, should I be doing this? And they were like, dude, it's your business, you know. And it took a while for me to break through that and to understand that it's a difficult switch. You got to make it though. You got to go from employee to entrepreneur. I know that's a catchphrase, but it's really true. Is that you need to go from a place of, okay, I got to take orders. This person here is structuring my life for me, to a place of I'm the boss. I'm going to tell myself, I'm going to structure my own time. I'm going to set limits on myself. Because if you don't do that, guys, what happens is you end up waiting around for someone else to run your business for you, and that's a really bad place to be at. So that's just another nugget that I've been able to come through. And I'm saying this very easily and calmly, but believe me, it took me time. It took me months to understand what was going on and to figure out what was going on in my own head. And in fact, Larry helped me with that as well, Larry Hockman, in that you got to stop letting somebody else run your business. You're the person who runs your business, nobody else. And you're the one who's going to decide what gets done when and how it gets done and if it gets done. And you got to make that change. So what do you say, my friend?
I say with that, we wrap this baby up. And I am so excited that we went ahead. Speaking of focused, strategic, specific action, this webinar is a perfect example of that. First of all, I just want to congratulate you personally, Bob, because you're a rock star for going ahead and doing this in spite of all of the hang-ups and things that we ran into over the past month, couple months and couple of weeks. To be able to do this, you're a complete testament to your part-time business blueprint. It's rare that you ever get to see somebody who actually lives the philosophy that they teach. So hats off to you, man.
Thanks. Appreciate that, Nick. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And guys, thank you so much. I know your time is valuable. Believe me, I know that. And I'm so honored and thankful that you guys chose to spend this hour with us, because it allowed me to get out my message, to be in my voice the way I wanted to do it for so long in one complete setting. And you guys allowed me to do that. So I appreciate you. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for the people who bought the product. I'm looking forward to working with you. And if you didn't, that's cool too. Just stay hooked into us. You guys can always find me online. You know where I am. And hook into me, hook into Nick. Nick's a very cool dude to work with. Hook into us as well. And we'll just keep rocking it, right, man? We'll just keep rocking it.
Absolutely. Can't wait to the next
guys,
one.
Thanks so much. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, that's it. It's a wrap. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you. I'm humbled that you have taken the time to be with us tonight, and we'll see you again next time. Take care.